Today's video, we're going to talk about joins and specifically about how joins can multiply your result sets. So I recently had a client come to me with an issue they were having with a query, and basically they were seeing duplicates in the result set. And it turned out that it wasn't that there was duplicates in the actual data; it was that there was a problem with the joins, and the joins were actually returning more rows than they were expecting. So that's what we're going to dig into. So really the problem here is, if you have written a query, you execute it and you find that your results that seem to contain duplicates. And what you're experiencing is known as join multiplication. So you need to really understand how joins work and how they can multiply your results. And so it looks like you've got multiple results, and sometimes it's going to make your SQL actually run a lot less efficiently. And of course, it's throwing off accuracy. So those are the things you're trying to improve or avoid. So you need to be mindful of your join conditions and use them wisely. And you need to avoid unexpected duplicates in the result set. So what you need to understand is that when you join tables, it's basically a multiplication problem. So you need to look at both, and if you've got two tables, you need to look at both sides of the join, look at the criteria of your query, then look at each side of that, each table that's involved and select from it and look at how many rows you get. And what happens is, if I have one row coming from, in this example, if I have one row coming from table 1 and 2 rows coming from table 2, I will end up with 2 rows in my result set. It's just a multiplication problem, 1 times 2. Also, something to understand is if I have no rows in one side or the other of the join, I will wind up with 0 rows, because 0 times whatever number is 0. So just something to keep aware of. So some tactics and troubleshooting. If you're trying to figure out where things get multiplied, what I typically do is I'll start selecting from the various tables, and I'll start with just one table, and I'll look at how many rows come back. And then I'll subsequently start adding in all of the joins that are involved in the query until I find the results get multiplied. And that's when I know I've got a table that has some refining to do with respect to the filters that are going on, or the joins that are being constructed in the join or where clauses. So to avoid join multiplication, you need to ensure that your join conditions are specific enough to match only the rows you need. You need to be specific in those conditions, and then add columns or filters to narrow down the matches. And as I said, to troubleshoot, you need to examine the cardinality of every table involved in the join to see if there's more specific way to join the tables, or use a filter on one side of the join or the other. So that's it. That's it for today's video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, of course, drop them below. If you have any unrelated questions even to this video, hey, drop them below and I'll try to make a video on them. Thanks, guys. Bye.